it's wonderful that there is that sense of community, because it's a very hard thing to find for our guys, to feel part of something, to feel genuinely accepted for who and how they are.
G'day, I'm Deborah Caldo, and welcome to the Red Giraffe Solutions Expanding Worlds podcast, where we aim to support you as you help your young person with additional needs plan for their future. A future where they are safe, secure, and live a rewarding and fulfilling life. From around the world, I share stories and share solutions from people making this possible right now. I'm a parent of a young person with additional needs, so I understand the challenges. Many of the people I've interviewed on this podcast have already helped me design a better future for my daughter, and I hope that they might help you as well to imagine what's possible for your young person. One of the episodes of this podcast was called Everyone Needs Community. And there are not many statements you can say are 100% true, but that is one. But it's also challenging to find a community. I'll be honest, this has been one area where I've probably failed. Circumstances like moving house for schools and recently for my daughter's job have made that difficult. I suppose in some ways this podcast is my community because it's where I get to talk to people who I feel a real connection with. But I can say we haven't failed when it comes to helping our daughter find her community. I watch with great happiness and a little bit of envy as I see her build around her a community that I believe will sustain and support her long after I'm gone. So no prizes for guessing the topic of this episode: community. My guest is Sarah Towler, CEO of CASPA, and CASPA stands for Community, Autistic Support, Pride and Advocacy. Sarah started with CASPA first as a support worker and then moved into the role of Chief Executive Officer. She's married with 4 kids, a dog and a rabbit. I was told it was very important to not forget the rabbit. If I had to describe Sarah in one word, that'd be pretty easy: passionate. And that is, I'm sure, a prerequisite for being part of an organisation that so many people find a lifeline and which makes families' lives just that little bit easier. So I'm going to get straight into letting Sarah share her passion for CASPA by talking about what community means. How important do you think that sense of community is for people, not just for the young people, but also for the parents and the carers and the families?
Hugely. I think, and I don't just think it's the members, carers or families, I think it's the staff too. Lots of our staff are neurodivergent and have been members and become staff members because they've felt the importance of what CASPA brings, what that sense of community. You know, we're forever told we're a lifeline for families. Without CASPA, they'd be lost. For me, it's wonderful that there is that sense of community, because it's a very hard thing to find for our guys. To feel part of something, to feel genuinely accepted for who and how they are. And I think for families, we have our parent and toddler group. And when you go into them, you see the parents who have never had a child like this, you know, with additional needs, or they've never met another parent of a child who has these additional needs. And when they see other children displaying the same or similar behaviours, that they're just like, it's like an epiphany, like just, oh, I'm okay. And the fact that at CASPA, there's never such a thing as a bad day. That there may be, you know, a moment that a member has presented not in their best way, but that would be because something's happened, something's triggered them. And our sort of ethos at CASPA is very much that's us as an adult's fault. We didn't see the triggers. We didn't see the warning signs. And I think lots of our families, especially parents, they have to do the walk of shame at school. When the parents do that pointy finger, come here, I need to talk to you. And that doom that hits your belly of, oh, what now? And then you walk over. You will never, ever get that at CASPA. It's always about, it might be, oh, there was a moment, but, you know, we feel the trigger point is this, or we feel that, you know, we missed something. Can you just talk it through with us and help us explain it so that we can ensure it doesn't happen again, or try our best to divert things? So it's very much a community feel. And you see parents go, what, you're not going to ban them? What, they're allowed to come back? And you just sort of think how much heartache these families go through from people just not understanding, not being willing to just try. We started family days out and things from COVID, and the siblings being able to meet other siblings. Well, it's not just my brother that does that. It's not just my sister that does that. The parents being able to acknowledge each other and have those conversations. I was talking to a parent the other day and she went, I've never been anywhere where I can talk about my son that smears poo. And you're like, well, of course you can. Why couldn't you? It's just, there will be parents that have been through that and that will be able to go, oh, I tried this or I tried that and this worked for me. And that parent power, that peer-to-peer support all through CASPA is huge. Lots of people think we just do children, but obviously CASPA can go up to the adults. Our eldest is 57, which is fantastic. And we're still supporting them and all of their families and enabling them to be secure and confident and supported and able to book all their own stuff on their own. It's phenomenal. Lots of our 16 plus members volunteer at our junior clubs and our inters clubs because I'm understanding you. And this is what I feel you need at this time. And I just want to say one thing. Whoever said that empathy in autistic people doesn't go, couldn't be further from the truth. I have met so many people they feel empathy. It takes over their life to the fact that they're crying to the point of someone who's just got a splinter because they can feel that pain for that person. So yeah, that's one big myth I hate about autism, that they have no empathy. It really irks me. So yeah, so the community is huge for us. And for us, it's also about educating a wider community about our community. So we're very much about going into schools, public spaces, talking about autism from an autistic point, having people leading the way and saying, this is me, this is my autism, this is how I present, this is not, and how it's all different.
You mentioned that you have young people that have come through CASPA and neurodivergent, and they're now part of CASPA's ecosystem, if you like. Are they the ones that go out into the community? Because obviously they're going to be very effective at communicating not just what CASPA's about, but what it means to be neurodivergent and the effect that has on them in their life and in their community.
Yeah, exactly that. And we've had quite a few members that have become staff, and we also have quite a few adults, family members that have come to us as late diagnosed that work within our sort of ecosystem, as you say, and are able to go out and be that real, genuine voice of what it's done for them, what have in the community. I always say that we're the secret nod society. Like you walk in and you just have that nod with each other. Like I remember when I first became a mum, and obviously everyone tells you how amazing it is and how wonderful it is and all this sort of stuff. And I remember being like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I haven't got a clue. And then I met another mum and we just sort of nodded at each other like, I get you. We haven't got a clue, have we? And for me, that's what CASPA is for the community. We walk in and we can all go, yeah, I've got you. And that's what's lovely as well, is for our parents to hear from our staff that are neurodivergent to explain how it felt for them when they couldn't communicate, when they was in meltdown, how it felt for them when they felt they had no friends. It's great to be able to have that real, true voice of autism.
CASPA's been going for 20 years. Can you
Just over.
What do you think is the secret to that? Because a lot of organisations come together and then it will kind of dissipate. Apart from the community, what has happened to create something that's lasted so long and is so effective?
For me, I'd say it's passion and love. I think we have incredible people around us, from the parents. So CASPA actually started by a group of parents that had nothing for their children to go to. Even just speaking of that makes me feel really proud. Well, sad that they had to do that because there wasn't anything provided anywhere for neurodivergent kids, but happy that they was able to do that and that we're able to continue it. Helen, my predecessor, Helen Dyer, absolutely wonderful woman, full of passion, love and dedication, and sort of filtered it through to everyone within the organisation. If you work 2 hours a year or 37 hours a week, the passion and love for the members and the community is there, that we continue to strive. And I think what we're amazing at doing is we're amazing at growing organically. So we never had an adult service until lockdown. Lockdown came and we was like, we've got to do something. There's such a need. We've got so many young people that are struggling. How are we going to help this? And so, yeah, we started our 16 plus club of our future. So we now have a 16 plus and a 22 plus club. We've started doing over 30s activities because we just find that people want the services and we want to be able to continually grow to give them those services. So, yeah, passion, love, dedication. And you know what? I really enjoy my work. I think that's the thing. Like, if you speak to the staff, we really enjoy what we do. I go back to the ground and work on in the clubs every sort of half term to ensure, and all of the office staff do too, to ensure that we're fully aware and understanding of what goes on in CASPA and able to really connect with everyone.
I'm sure Sarah won't agree with me on one thing, and that's the fact that CASPA is not unique. I know there are other communities out there that are equally awesome, but CASPA is rare, very rare, and that's the problem. There are so few places like CASPA offering what families need, what young people need, that sense of belonging, of mattering to other people, of not having to explain everything constantly, and as Sarah put it so well, being somewhere where people just get you. And in a society where community doesn't seem to be as valued as it once was, I think listening to the impact that CASPA has had and is having on all the people they support, their families, and the staff at CASPA, it's an important reminder that we have to make sure that whatever we do in terms of supporting our children to build their future life plans, we must ensure that community is a core part of that future. Next week, in part 2 of my conversation with Sarah, we focused in on how CASPA supports young adults. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that the stories and the solutions shared on here help you as you support your young person to create their future. And if you know anyone who would find the ideas useful, please share the podcast with them. Of course, if you want to, you can leave a review, because that is another way families who need this information can find it more easily. This show is created as part of Red Giraffe Solutions. To find out what the Red Giraffe is all about, visit redgiraffesolutions.com, where you'll find more resources around daily living, relationships, purpose and financial security. I'm at Deborah Caldo on Instagram and Facebook. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to have a conversation with you on any of those. Bye for now.